Hey, Glovelies, and welcome back to Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Holly.
And I'm Melissa.
And this week, after 20 weeks of sadness and despair, I am happy to report that baseball is back. That's right. Tomorrow is the very first day of the 2026 MLB regular season. Well, technically, that's tonight because there is a game airing live on Netflix. So opening day is technically tomorrow, but opening night is technically tonight. So we are going to talk all about everything that's gone down in this very busy offseason, as well as everything we are looking forward to this season. But as always, if there's anything you want us to talk about here on the podcast, be sure to leave it in the comments and be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes every Wednesday. All right, ladies, let's kick things off, as always, with our Pookies of the Week. Melissa, who is your first Pookie of the Week of the 2026 MLB season?
Well, I have to kick it off with an Oriole to send good vibes into the season. So I'm going to pick Tyler Wells this week. A random pick, I feel like, for me, but I did get a chance to meet Tyler very briefly at Berlin Caravan when we did the Blessings in a Backpack. He actually walked right in front of us while we were going through the line, and he is so nice. And I think my first thing that I said to my husband, I was like, oh my God, he's so tall. And he overheard me and he goes, yeah, I know. So it was so funny, but he is such a nice guy. And I know he was injured a lot of last season. So I hope he has a good season this season, injury free. And he seems to be doing really well in preseason. So have a great season, Tyler, and go O.
Love it. Love it. Manifesting a good season for Tyler Wells. All right, Hallie, who is your inaugural Pookie of the 2026 season?
My Pookie this week is author Kat Sebastian. She just put out a new book this month and I devoured it in 2 days. So everybody read Starship. It's very, very good. And then when you're done with that one, read You Should Be So Lucky, which is her baseball romance book.
Period.
Nice.
I love it. My first Pookie of the 2026 MLB season, I am going to take this week to reset and remind everyone where my priorities lie. And that is with my Pookie Supreme, Ryan O'Hearn. So obviously he is getting familiar with his new team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he has bounced all over the baseball field during spring training. He hit his first home run of the year as the Pirates played the Orioles, and he also received a standing ovation the first time he stepped up to the plate, which brought a little tear to my eye. It was also really exciting that we were able to collab with Bryce over at the MLB Hall of Pretty Good for the divisional roundtable, and I was so pleased to hear that he mentioned Ryan O'Hearn as his current favorite Pirates player. That just brings me so much joy. There's a lot of excitement around Ryan O'Hearn this year, and I am thrilled to see him trending upward and getting more and more of the recognition that he so rightfully deserves. I have been singing his praises for so long, and I'm glad to see everyone else is finally getting on the train. So, Ryan O'Hearn, you are my Pookie this week. I will see you in Pittsburgh on April 4th.
I love it. Turn and burn, brother.
Turn and burn, baby. All right, Lovelies, we want to hear from you. Who is your Pookie of the week this week? Be sure to let us know in the comments and tag your Pookie if you can. All right, Lovelies, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the off season and talk about all of our lofty hopes and dreams for this season. So first thing I want to know, who was your favorite free agent signing of the off season?
Well, I was very excited that one of my favorite Orioles is coming to the Tampa Bay Rays. Suddy, you were my favorite and most exciting free agent signing of the offseason. I am so happy to see you play on a more regular basis in person.
I was also talking about this with my mom. The pictures of Cedric Mullins from like Rays Media Day and like spring training, he looks so much happier than every photo that I saw of him with the Mets from the second half of last year. So, Seti, we love you.
Can't wait to hear you guys talk about how you got to see Seti.
Yes, we got to get some tickets over at the Trop now that it's finally reopening. So
you do.
Yeah,
and I
want to go pet a devil ray in a tank.
And so you shall.
I want to see Raymond in his natural environment.
Period.
DJ Kitty is an indoor cat.
It's true. Melissa, who was your favorite free agent signing?
Pete Alonso, 100% Pete Alonso, hands down. I cannot have enough praise for Pete Alonso, especially after this preseason. I think he's going to be amazing for this team, already hitting some home runs. I cannot wait to see what he does in the regular season with us and how great he's going to be in our clubhouse.
Definitely. I agree. He was my favorite free agent signing. Also, another thing that I recently learned is that he he spent a lot of his own money to provide like some upgrades and like special things for the Orioles clubhouse. I love that. I think that's absolutely amazing. And he's already bringing really great leadership to the team. And I love what I see so far. But you know me, I'm never going to waste an opportunity to talk about Ryan O'Hearn. So I have to shout out his 2-year, $29 million contract, which is the largest free agent signing in Pirates franchise history. So shout out to my Pookie.
Yes, I was very excited that he got that deal. I'm very glad that he got that deal. If he couldn't come back to us, I'm glad he got a good deal and he seems to be happy about where he is. So
definitely. It was my Christmas wish.
Yes, I remember.
Okay, moving on. Who was your favorite trade from the off season? Hallie, do you want to start again?
I think all the Glovelies know I don't follow baseball like that very well, but some ones Courtney reminded me of that did kind of ping my interest were all of the three-way trades. That was really funny to me because
who doesn't love a three-way?
How silly. But Twins paying cash for Anthony Vanda was kind of cool, I guess, because I don't know if that's actually like a trade.
I think that's just more of a transaction. Technically, it's trading him for money.
And then Shane Vaz being traded for draft picks was kind of interesting. I think it's just interesting because we do not know what the long-term results of that are going to be. Like, I will probably forget it that these happened and then be stunned in a couple years.
Like, oh, that paid off, or damn, try again.
I'll fully be like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just happy to be here.
All right, what about you, Melissa?
The one that piqued my interest the most was a three-way trade. Hey, why choose? It was the Brandon Lau, Jake Mangum, Mason Montgomery to the Pirates, the Mike Burrows to the Astros, and the Tampa Bay getting prospects. Because it's just like Hallie said, it's like, hey, are those prospects going to pay off? Time will tell. Maybe, maybe not. But I love it. I love the complexity of the three-way trades. It's very interesting to me.
I personally was a big fan of Taylor Ward for Grayson Rodriguez.
It was interesting and out of nowhere.
Here's the thing. I hesitate to say that the Angels got fleeced in this deal, but I haven't seen Grayson pitch at a major league level in 2 years now. So Taylor Ward was one of the huge bats that we added in the offseason. And I've been so pleased with what I've seen from him at the plate in spring training. And I think that he's definitely adding a lot of depth to our outfield as well. I know that him and Colton Cowser had kind of been trading left and center a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Orioles outfield kind of shakes out. So yeah, I definitely am excited about Taylor Ward. He's definitely someone that I am looking forward to seeing what he'll continue to do.
Same. And LA, good luck with Grayson. I hope it works out for you.
I'm pretty sure that Melissa and I are united in our thinking, but Hallie, who do you think won the offseason? I was going to say, I know that you've admitted that you don't know as much about baseball and you don't pay attention as much as Melissa and I do, but who do you think won the offseason?
Well, for me, it was Ray and TC Bear, the mascots of the Tampa Bay Rays and the Minnesota Twins. And I think it was really just like one big weekend for them, like one whirlwind weekend together. But that's the kind of heated rivalry I want in my professional sport.
Okay.
Yes. Way to bring it. Heated rivalry. Yeah.
Melissa, I believe that we are united in believing that the Orioles won the offseason.
I mean, yes. I mean, what besides our bias, I think we got what we wanted. We got more depth in our bullpen. We got some great starters. I feel like we are going to be in a good spot if, God forbid, somebody gets injured, which I think has already happened with Jordan Westbrook. We've got depth in everywhere right now, I think, to keep things going if we end up having a year like last year.
No, I agree. I think the Orioles have added so many pieces that are, like you said, they're the depth that's going to carry us through those kind of rougher patches where people are getting injured. And we know that that's going to happen. And I think that front office, after seeing what happened last year, is also very much in that same train of thought.
I mean, just the preseason, some of the people, the prospects that are out there that we know could get called up, like Vance Honeycutt. Come on. Yeah. I mean, I think we're in a good spot. I have high hopes for this year. I have high hopes.
Okay, moving on. World Series. Aside from who we want, who do we think is actually going to make the World Series this year? Hallie, what do you think?
More realistically, I think a Blue Jays Phillies World Series this year.
Okay.
And that's my gut instinct.
That's not that
barely
crazy.
Look at numbers, and even when I do, I don't really know what they mean. So that is my silly goose gut instinct.
Okay.
I say Melissa? Go for it. Gut instinct sometimes overrides statistics, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to go with what probably should have been last year, which would be Mariners versus Dodgers.
Yeah.
I think the Blue Jays got lucky last year, and I'm going to go with Mariners versus Dodgers this year.
Okay. I still think that Blue Jays team is going to be really electric this year. I think that this year they're coming back with a vengeance, and they've added a lot of pieces in the offseason that I think is going to make the AL East just in general is going to be extremely competitive this year. So this is the toughest division in baseball.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I do think the Orioles have what it takes to make it all the way. So I do think the Orioles will make it to the World Series, which honestly is what I want. Like in my lifetime, I just want to see the Orioles make it to the World Series. Would I love to see the Orioles win a World Series? Absolutely. I think the Dodgers are going to make it again. I think they're going to make it, and the storylining of their potential three-peat is going to be crazy, and then the Orioles will be the obvious underdog. You are hearing it here. These are our predictions. I've got Orioles, Dodgers. Melissa has Mariners, Dodgers. Allie has Blue Jays, Phillies. So I will be making a graphic just to save that for posterity when it comes around to World Series.
Or when it happens.
We can compare. All right. Last thing before I move on. What are your hot takes for this season? Hallie, what you got?
Leave teams with low stats alone. Let them have fun.
Okay.
Let the fans have fun.
Okay.
There you go.
It's literally a game where you're hitting a ball with a bat.
Nice.
All right. Melissa, what you got?
Craig Albanez, AL Manager of the Year. Calling it now.
Okay. I don't think it's that far-fetched. Craig Albernaz turned down a lot of jobs before he eventually signed his contract with the Orioles. I know he was looking for the right position, and I know that he has brought a specific energy into the clubhouse that is setting them up for success this year.
Yep.
I love the way that he's going in and doing things.
Yep, me too. I think he's gonna surprise us all this season and just turn it around for us.
This is just me parroting what I've said a million times up till this point, but I do think the Orioles are going to be the team to watch this year. I had a lot of confidence in 2025. With the offseason that we had, it has absolutely skyrocketed. So birds by a billion.
Agreed.
Hold on. I think I can get a meow meow out of Theodore.
Hi.
Do you have anything to say to the Lovelies?
This is Theodore.
This is a scorching hot take. All right, Glovelies. Well, what did you think of all of that? Let us know in the comments. Let us know your hot takes for this season. And moving on, we are going to mix up our top 5 this week. So we are actually going to go position by position, and we're each going to name a player that we're looking forward to seeing this season. Let's start right over at first base. Melissa, let's have you start us off. Who you got?
Big surprise who I'm picking. Pete Alonso. And I swear, I did good. You guys will see I picked other teams, but I am most excited at first base for Pete Alonso this year. I am.
I love it. Hallie?
I am really excited for getting to see Yandy Diaz play on the Rays again. My picks are going to be primarily for people on teams that I already am watching and people whose names I remember from last year.
Okay, period.
Shake that ass.
Yeah.
My goal was to try and make sure I was choosing someone from different teams for all of my different positions, but the Mariners obviously got a lot of my attention last year. So someone I'm looking forward to seeing is Josh Naylor. He just re-signed with them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he will evolve and how he will continue to contribute to their team. He is someone that I really enjoy watching. He's just fun. Let's move on around the diamond to second base. Melissa, who you got?
Price Terang of the Brewers. He caught my attention during the WBC, so I am looking forward to seeing how he will do this year playing for the Brewers. And I really do hope the Brewers do just as well this year as they did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Hallie, who you got?
Johnny DeLuca, I'm so excited to watch you play some games in the Trop this summer. Go Rays.
Oh, ow! I have a former Ray at second base on the Pirates this year. So Brandon Lau is who I'm looking forward to getting to pay more attention to. And Brandon Lau was always fun to watch at second base whenever we saw him play with the Rays. So I am expecting him to bring that same caliber of playing to the Pirates. And I know that he's someone that everyone is really excited about. So Brandon Lau is my pick for second base. Moving on around to third base. Melissa, who you got?
I'm torn here. So I do want to see how Bo Bichette does with the Mets. I'm very curious to see how that goes. I do love Bo Bichette. Hope he does well with the Mets. But I also want to call out Old Blue Eyes, who I love, Ernie Clement. We'll probably enjoy seeing him more this season.
I mean, I think so. Hallie, who you got?
Junior Caminero on the Rays. I am so excited to watch you from the third baseline again this summer. Let's go Rays.
So So for me, third base, it's someone that I've been watching a lot during spring training. Blaze Alexander, who we recently got from the Diamondbacks. I am so excited about him. He has played phenomenally at every game that I've seen him in. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he'll continue to bring. And he's also someone that I feel like is kind of probably bounced between third base, second base, maybe even shortstop, depending on who's in and out. So I think that he's going to be a really dynamic addition to the infield. So shortstop. Melissa, who you got?
Even more now after the WBC, Gunner. I'm very excited to see Gunner's turnaround this season. So I have to stick with my Orioles for that one.
Absolutely. Hallie, who you got?
I have Carlos Carrera, who was it like a recent trade to the Astros? I don't remember when it happened. Regular listeners may remember a lot of these names from my personal, from when we drafted players last season. He was my thick daddy cutie pie choice for my team. So I hope you're doing well.
For shortstop for me, I got to go Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. in the WBC, insane. I definitely think he's been someone to watch for the past few seasons. He is someone that I'm looking forward to. Behind the plate at catcher, Melissa, who you got?
I mean, is anyone surprised when I say James McCann for the Diamondbacks? Shouldn't
Not
be
even a little bit.
surprised. And we all know who else. I won't even say the name. I'm going to try and go one episode without saying his name, but you know who I mean.
Yeah, Hadley Slutchman.
That's right. Oh my God.
God forbid he actually listens to this one day. And he's just listening to me call him Hadley Slutchman over and over again.
You know, it would be magical if somebody listened to it and that's his nickname now. They're like, oh, Hadley Slutchman.
Oh my God.
We're gonna
Sorry,
be
Hadley,
put
we
in a
love you.
position one day where we will interact with them, and I'll say, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Hadley."
Yes.
Just no thoughts, just wrong names.
Yep. All right, Hallie, who you got?
Big dumper, Cal Raleigh on the Mariners. Have a fun season.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course.
For me, Melissa mentioned this earlier, a lot of the internet friends that we have that are within our little baseball community are Phillies fans. So I have a newfound appreciation for JT Realmuto.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to seeing him this season. All right, let's move on to the outfield. Let's start with left field. Melissa, who you got?
I got James Wood for the Nets.
Okay.
And, you know, I do like the Nets because they are my other local team. But I would say Patrick also kind of brought me around to James Wood when we had him on the divisional roundtable. So James Wood.
Love that. Hallie, who you got?
Stephen Kwan of the Guards.
Okay.
That's who we're looking forward to watching because he is so handsome.
Oh,
Very
amazing.
nice.
Absolutely. Stephen Kwan, of course. I'm going to say left field because he's usually in center field, but I had someone else in center field, so I put him in left field. Denzel Clark of the Athletics.
Oh, yeah.
I have never seen anyone rob a home run like Denzel Clark. Denzel Clark was like 2/3 over the wall catching these balls. I am 99% sure that he was the number one best play of 2025, according to, I think, MLB Network. It was incredible. Like, how can you even be mad at that? It's such like, oh my God.
Magic.
Tingle. In center field, I think we might all have the same answer.
I think we
Should we all say it on three?
On
Yes.
3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Cedric Mullins.
Yeah.
I think we all are excited to see that he has the light in his eyes back. And we are excited to see him have a lot of fun this year.
We are. Seti, have a great year. I hope you enjoy yourself again.
Of course. All right, moving over to right field. Melissa, who you got?
Ryan O'Hearn.
Oh my
The
God.
Pirates. Yeah. I mean, lovelies, don't forget. Courtney and I met and bonded because we both love Ryan O'Hearn. She just loves him a little bit more, but I do love Ryan, so
It's true.
can't wait to see him play.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to be tearing it up out there wherever he is.
Mhm.
Hallie, who you got?
I have Harrison Bader from the Giants. He just joined in the offseason. Harrison Bader, you are so handsome.
His first home run of spring training, he knocked it out of the park so hard that he hit a food truck that was in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I think he did.
And he left a dent and then he signed it. I think that's so funny. I personally am super excited about an acquisition that the Mets made in their offseason. They traded for Luis Robert Jr. and he has been lighting up the outfield for the White Sox. And I am thrilled that he's heading up to New York because the Mets also had an amazing offseason. I think they were only second to the Orioles, which is crazy because the Mets lost like 9 or 10 players.
Quiet for a long time.
Yeah.
I
think the Bo Bichette acquisition really like kickstarted everything else for them. So, okay, let's talk about pitching, talking about starting pitchers. So we each picked 2 starting pitchers and 2 relief pitchers. Melissa, who were your 2 starting pitchers?
My first one, which I feel like if anyone's a listener, this shouldn't be no surprise to, because I have said how many times I love him, is Trey Savage of the Blue Jays. Although I was sad to see that he got put on the IL already. I hope that's not a sign of what's to come for the season. So Trey, please get better and stay healthy because I love watching you. And then I'm going to go with Sagano for my other one because I am really curious about how he's going to do with the Rockies. I feel like he started off really well for us last year and he kind of took a dive, and I'm hoping that he does better with the Rockies. So I would like to see him do well.
All right, Hallie, what you got?
Well, I don't know a starting pitcher from a closing pitcher, from a relief pitcher, from a pitcher of lemonade. So I picked 4 pitchers that I think are very, very lovely, either because for whatever I felt like deciding they're lovely. But the 2 that I'm going to pretend are starting pitchers are Taj Bradley from the Twins. I think I don't know if he's new to this season or not, but his roster picture is very cute.
He used to play for the Rays.
Maybe that's why I remember. Who knows how anything works in the spaghetti and meatballs cold cut sandwich that my brain is made of, how any of it connects together. But Taj Bradley, yay! And then Cody Pont for the Blue Jays. Your name is fun. It made me think of a cartoon my sisters and I watched a lot called Clone High, if anyone knows Clone High.
So I think it's so interesting that we all actually chose a Blue Jays pitcher.
Sure did.
I chose new acquisition Dylan Cease, who played for the Padres last year. I think he had kind of a down year. It was like a little bit of a roller coaster. He had kind of like a down end of the year, but I think the Blue Jays did a remarkable job signing him. I really hoped the Orioles would get him, but oh well. But the other person I'm really excited to kind of pay attention to is Tetsuya Imai, who's going to be pitching for the Astros. He is the new acquisition from, I believe, the Nippon League in Japan.
Ooh,
very exciting.
Super cool. So talking about relievers, Melissa, who are you excited to watch this year?
I am excited to see Orion Kirkering of the Phillies because I know the end of his season last year was devastating. So I would love to see him have a good season this year. Just good vibes for him. And then I picked a Padre. I picked Mason Miller.
Yeah.
Gotta get a Padre in there.
Of course. And he killed it during the WBC too.
He did.
Hallie, who you got?
I selected for my last 2 pitchers I'm looking forward to seeing because, like I said, I don't know if they're a reliever or starting or what. Colin Holderman from the Guards. I think he's really cute. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto from the Dodgers. I think he did such a good job last year, and I'm excited to see what he does this year.
You know what? Yoshi went in for relief in the World Series, so I'll allow it.
Cool, thanks. Because if you weren't going to allow it, you do not have any options because I do not have backups.
Well, there you go.
Who else are you looking forward to seeing, Courtney?
I'm looking forward to seeing former Oriole Cade Stroud, who is now with the Diamondbacks, and I am also looking forward to seeing Edwin Diaz, who the Dodgers picked up in the offseason. So I'm really excited by all the different players that we kind of got here. But Lovelies, we want to hear from you. Which players are you most excited to hear about this season, or which players are you most excited to watch this season? Which we want to know. Let us know in the comments and let us know what you think about our choices. All right, Lovelies. Now, before we wrap up today, we are going to do something a little different for our recommended media segment. We are switching it all up today. So today, as we approach the new season, we wanted to take a moment to highlight some of our favorite baseball accounts and creators that we would love to share with you and recommend that you follow, as well as a little bit of information about everyone. So before we get into the different categories and the different folks that we have, I do want to shout out some of the podcasts that we have had the pleasure of partnering with. We have had the pleasure of of partnering with Chris Northrup, who was our Chicago Cubs rep for the Divisional Roundtable Series and Baseball Banter broadcast. We were also able to have Jonathan from the Redbird Rundown podcast on, and he does Cardinals focused content. Mitch from the Captain Lou Sports Network does some Phillies focused content. There's also Justin from Boo Boo Burnland, who we had on last season, who does some Orioles focused content. Of course, our besties Aiden and Johnny from the Painting Corners podcast were gracious enough to have me on right before the WBC started. And Angela from the Hockey Princess podcast had us on so we could talk about some sports romance stuff as well. Hallie and I were also able to be a guest on Being a Fan of Disney, the podcast. So shout out to our pal Cody Havard for that. And we've also got a couple other podcasts we would like to recommend to you guys. We've got Melissa and Jacqueline over at Talk Dodgers to Me, who they do Dodger focused content, obviously. However, pay attention. You may see them pop up on our page in an upcoming episode. So stay tuned for that. And also we, over on the West Coast, we've got Anais and Steph over at Padres and Playdates. They mainly do Padres focused content, but they're both moms, and so they do some family focused content as well, which is super cool. So we chose a few different categories, and we each kind of chose one specific creator for each category. So the first category we are going to talk about is MLB and sports photography.
Mine is going to be Alyssa at AM Media. She does a lot of sports photography, and if you are in the DC metro area, she does a lot of local sports. So she does photographs the Orioles, she's photographed the Nets, the Capitals, and during football season, the Commanders as well. So just especially if you are a DC metro person, you should check out her page.
Yeah, another MLB photography affiliate is going to be Tom Wilson. Tom is kind of all over the place, but he takes some of the most dynamic sports photos that I've ever seen, and I would wholeheartedly recommend following him. So Tom Wilson Photography is going to be my pick.
And I'd like to take this moment to shout out Jay Brophy Baseball. He's an MLB photographer, mostly doing Yankees stuff primarily, but he is a friend of the pod, and so we just want to say hi.
Hey, John. You're the best. All right. So our next category, we have some creators who are kid focused and provide family friendly content. So Melissa.
Yes, I am going to shout out Cal's Philly Corner. If you all do not follow Cal, he will bring a smile to your face and brighten your day. He is the most adorable 4-year-old and so knowledgeable. He and I are actually collaborating every week this season on my Positive Oriole Vibes account to bring some positivity to the ballparks is what we're calling it, where we're shouting out players from different teams and how they impact their communities. So, but definitely check out Cal. He'll give you a lot of baseball facts too that you didn't even know.
It's true. Wheel spin Wednesday. He's so cute. So my pick for this category is going to be Carter and Cooper, aka the Twin Stripe Reporters. Myself, as well as two friends of the pod, Jenny and Kay Awancio. We're going to a Philly spring training game, and we're in line for security, and I turn around, and who do I see but Carter and Cooper and their mom Robin, and they are such lovely gentlemen, and I love their content. MLB extends them a lot of really cool opportunities. So the Twin Stripe Reporters, absolutely 100%. I endorse them.
And we're also going to throw a shout out to Alex and Matt over at Tumble Travels. They do a lot of baseball travel related content, as well as a lot of Angels content, as well as just kind of like lifestyle vlogging as well. Excited to see what you do this season.
So our next category, we chose a few creators who do kind of like all MLB content, not stuff that's specific to one team. So we really wanted to shout out people who are looking at the league as a whole. My personal pick was our collaborator for the Pittsburgh Pirates, fan representative for our divisional roundtable, and that is Bryce Whitlow over at the Hall of Pretty Good. And the great thing about the Hall of Pretty Good is that it celebrates not every single team, but it also celebrates every era of baseball. So a couple times a week, Bryce will spin a wheel with a bunch of different historical players' names. Anyone that's retired or has been inactive for 3 years and meets certain criteria based on their stats is eligible. And he'll spin the wheel, and whoever it lands on the fans and the followers of the account get to vote on whether or not that player makes it into the Hall of Pretty Good.
I love that.
And Bryce is amazing to work with. He's a fantastic collaborator and he's a great guy. So shout out Bryce.
Nice. And speaking of friends of the pod, because Courtney just mentioned Jenny. So Jenny has started up her own baseball community for brunch and baseball, where she's going to get together with people, have a little bit of brunch, have a couple of drinks, and talk about baseball. So we want to give a shout out to our friend of the pod.
Yes. I know that she's looking to host some stuff in Philly. She's based in Philly. She's looking to host stuff around Pennsylvania as well as in New York as well. I don't think it would be too out of the question to do stuff down in Baltimore. So you never know. Definitely follow Jenny and Brunch and Baseball to learn more, especially if you are in the Northeast United States. Can definitely get in on that action.
And I'm going to shout out Brooke Nose Ball. We've mentioned her a couple times on the pod. She's very fun. It's really easy to digest, informative content that is usually just what we need in the minute.
Yeah.
So, hi, Brooke.
Yes. Two-time Pookie, Brooke Nose Ball.
Yes.
Friend
Love
of the
it.
pod.
Okay, so moving on, we've got a couple of content creators who are humor, comedy based. They are like Brooke. They provide kind of like more like in the moment, really up-to-date stuff. So, Melissa, who you got?
Oh, I'm going to shout out Trevor at Trev's Chirps. If you have not followed Trev's Chirps, you should. It is hilarious. Basically, what Trevor does is he's a Giants fan. He sits out in the outfield seats and he berates in a funny way whoever the opposite's team outfielders are and just yells stupid things at them to distract
Playful
them.
roasting.
Yes, it's playful roasting, and if you don't listen or pay attention, then you're a bum, as Trevor would say.
Yeah, and if you do, then you're a stud, as Trev would say.
That's right.
So my pick for this category is going to be John Franklin. Not only does he post baseball content, he posts a lot of sports content. He does kind of like skits and really just funny in general content that's just really on the nose and has just like that really funny commentary on what exactly is going on right now. So shout out John Franklin. You are so funny.
I'd like to say hi, Clementine at Clem9 Innings. She makes a lot of really delightful baseball memes, lots of carousels of silly baseball photos, but she is so silly, so lovely. Hi, Clem. So nice to have you as a friend of the pod.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. And then last but not least, our last category is going to be MLB associated creators. So these are people who MLB will typically either partner with directly or people that work for MLB. So my pick for this category, a lot of you probably already know her. It is the Queen Batty herself, Caitlin Maniscalco of Baseball for Baddies, who is actually the new host of Play Ball on MLB Network. So Queen Batty has done a lot for the internet sports girlies, and big shout out for Queen Batty.
She knows her stuff.
Yes, she does.
She's fun to follow. Mine is going to be John Boy Media. It was a couple of friends and then they blew up and now they post all sorts of MLB content. But I will say one of my favorite things to follow whenever they post is whenever they take a clip of something heated that happens in a moment during baseball, they lip read exactly what the players are saying and it basically translates to you because you wouldn't normally know what they're saying. I'm impressed that they're able to break it down, honestly, and it's always some really, really funny moments that they break down, so you should definitely check those posts out at least. I enjoy them.
Definitely. And Hallie, who you got to wrap us up?
I'd like to shout out Caitlin from Caitlin's World. She does a lot with MLB's social team, and she's gorgeous and she's cool. And we'd like to thank you for being a friend of the pod.
Hell yeah. We
Yeah.
love her. She's also someone else that I met on Threads. So we are definitely happy to support her. And she made a lot of really, really great content for spring training. She went to the MLB Players House, and then she also went to the WBC and made a lot of content there that was really exciting. So we love her. And then, of course, we want to once again thank all of our incredible fan representatives who lent their voices and their opinions to our 2026 Roundtable Series. That was legitimately, it was a dream come true. It was a low-key scheduling nightmare to get everybody in one place at one time, but we are so grateful for everyone's hard work, and we are indebted to everyone who has shared those episodes and who has shared all of our content thus far. It means the world to us. So thank you so much.
You're our friends forever.
Forever.
Mhm.
Love it.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh,
Down down the road, dying
yeah.
again.
All right. Well, Glovelies, now that we have waxed poetic for like 14 years, that'll do it for this episode of Glove Actually. Once again, Glovelies, I would love to thank you all for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes every Wednesday. All right. As we wrap up, ladies, what are you looking forward to most this week in the world of baseball? Who do you hope has fun this week? Melissa?
I mean, it's opening day or opening week. So, of course, I am most excited for the Baltimore Orioles 2026 season. I have a really good feeling about this year. So, let's go, guys. I also want to shout out, I have not one, but two friends dropping books on opening day. So, one of them, I feel like Courtney's going to mention. So, I'll let her mention that one. But the other one I want to mention is my friend KH Oaks, who's a good close friend of mine. She's dropping her debut novel, Beyond the Pages. It's not baseball, it's a small town romance, but you guys should check it out. I got an ARC copy and it is really good. So that's who I'm shouting out. I hope they have great weeks with their new releases.
I love it. Hallie, who do you hope has fun this week?
I hope everybody on starting lineups has fun this week. It's a big week for you boys. I hope there are lots of orange slices and juice boxes prepped for you this weekend.
Period. I love it. I too am looking forward to opening day. I am probably going to cry. And when I say probably, I mean I'm definitely going to cry. But this week, I hope that all of our followers and all of the members of our tight-knit baseball community and our Thramily that we found on Threads has fun this week. And that includes our friend Kay Owancio, who is dropping her second Philly Sillies novel the day that this episode airs, which is the 25th. So she is dropping her second Philly Sillies novel, Working the Mound, today. It will be today when this episode airs. So you can get it right now. Go get it. So shout out Kay.
Amazing. I cannot wait to read it. My little hands are going to be downloading that sucker right away because I'm so excited about it.
Right away. I love it. All right. Well, this has been Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Hallie.
And I'm Melissa.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great week and have a great baseball season, Glovelies. And as always, be kind, keep it cute, and stay lovely.